Bacon. Salty, smoky survival gold. But in the Civil War, it wasn't a luxury, it was a lifeline. So how did soldiers in the 1860s keep their bacon from rotting in the heat of summer? With no fridges, no freezers, and sometimes not even a proper camp. Let's go back and uncover the surprisingly clever, gritty, and sometimes disgusting ways Civil War soldiers stored their bacon, and how some of those methods are still shockingly useful for preppers today. 1. The bacon basics. First off, what did they mean by bacon? For Civil War soldiers, bacon didn't mean crispy breakfast strips. It meant salted pork, usually thick slabs of side meat, heavily cured in salt, and packed in wooden barrels. It was greasy, it was tough. It was sometimes so salty you had to soak it in water before cooking, or risk shriveling up like a raisin. But it was calorie dense, lasted forever, and kept morale just high enough to survive the march. 2. How they stored it. So how did they store it? 3 key methods kept bacon edible, and I use that word generously. 1. Salt packing. Soldiers packed the pork in layers of salt, like edible archaeology. The salt drew out moisture, slowed bacteria, and made sure that by the time you pulled out a piece, it was hard as a boot, but technically still bacon. 2. Smoking. Smoking meat wasn't just for flavor, it preserved it. Some soldiers from rural backgrounds smoked their own bacon before marching off. If they got the chance at camp, they'd hang strips over the fire to dry it out further. The smell? Heavenly. The hygiene? Questionable. 3. Bacon and grease. In colder months, some troops rendered fat and submerged cooked bacon in lard. Think bacon preserved in bacon. It created a seal that blocked out air, like an old-school vacuum pack, minus the vacuum, and plus a whole lot of cholesterol. Section 3. Survival takeaways. So what can modern preppers learn from bacon barrels and grease jars? Curing still works. Salt is still one of the cheapest, simplest ways to preserve meat long-term. Grease seals work too. Look up confits or old-school lard preservation. Some of it still works if done right. Flavor doesn't always matter. Calories do. Civil War soldiers weren't foodies. They were fighters. Your survival stash doesn't have to taste great. It has to keep you alive. Train your gut. These soldiers could eat almost anything. They didn't rely on luxury. They trained their bodies to handle what was available. So next time you toss a pack of bacon into the fridge and forget about it, think of Private Jenkins, gnawing on a salty brick of pork, squinting into the sun somewhere in Virginia. He didn't have refrigeration. He had a barrel, some salt, and a stubborn will to live. And that's the real prepper lesson. It's not about the gear. It's about what you can do without it. If you found this interesting, hit that like button and subscribe. Because next week we're diving into the forgotten Civil War skill that fed entire regiments. Until then, stay prepared, stay curious, and maybe stock a little extra salt.